The Avenger. When a gang of international thieves steal the greatest invention still on blueprint paper in the world today, then the Avenger swings into action. The trail of crime leads him to rendezvous with death at a metropolitan amusement park and the fatal meeting with the fog robbers. Darkness shrouds the streets of Empire City. Suddenly a dull black mist creeps across the cobblestones. The black fog rolls on, lifting upward about the form of Phineas Fletcher, inventor and physicist. Strangest thing I ever saw in my life. It's like the ink an octopus shoots out. Suddenly, hands reach out of the darkness. The plans are in the briefcase. Take them. The rasp of a hacksaw working across the wrist chain is loud in the sudden stillness. It's chained to his wrist, but this thing will bite me through them in no time at all. Then, come on, I've got it. Let's get out of here. Some moments later, the sight of that black fog draws the attention of Roger White, millionaire scientist. Never saw anything like that before. I think I'll take a sample for analysis. Hello, somebody over there. Hurt. Why, it looks like old Professor Fletcher. Black fog. Men in it. Stole designs. It is Fletcher. Don't talk, Professor. Save your strength. I'd better take him home with me. A little over 20 minutes later, a powerful car rolls into the driveway of a suburban mansion. No hand is needed to open these doors. They respond to an electric I-beam. Claire, the guest room bed, quickly. We have a patient. This is Claire Farrow, lovely secretary of Roger White. She is used to these sudden emergencies. Anyone who works for Roger White must be used to them. I saw you coming up the drive, Roger. I've already turned down the bed. Who is he? Phineas Fletcher. Teaches science in a local high school. He's been working on something big in his spare time. The fact that he was attacked seems to prove he discovered it. The doctor will be here shortly. I've given him a sedative. The upper floor of the mansion is filled with a magnificent laboratory. Here are the latest instruments in the world of science, the finest devices, the most accurate machines. Now to check the bottled fog. So that's it. A mixture of certain chemicals and acids to form a black gas. The only place a man could get some of this stuff in town is from Dawson Chemicals. In a side closet of that laboratory, the door of which opens only to the fingerprint impressions of Roger White himself, hangs a number of black garments, a strange leather belt, and a hooded helmet. A moment later, Roger White wears the costume of the Avenger. Dawson Chemicals keeps records of its sales. I want to have a look at them. By way of an underground tunnel to a crypt hewn from solid rock, races the Avenger. Here, hidden by a sliding roof formed to resemble a rock garden, is the hangar for his Starjet. As powerful motors hum, the sliding dome of the hangar opens and the jet plane known as the Starjet hurtles out. Moments later, the Starjet lands on the roof of Dawson Chemicals. Within seconds, the Avenger is searching the files of the great industrial plant. Must be something in here to tell me who bought those chemicals. Here. Igor Larson bought them. But Larson runs the city amusement park center. What would he want with such stuff? All right, nosy. You asked for it. And here it is. He's using a silencer on his gun. If he wants to keep this quiet, I'll oblige. I'll turn off the alarm before I put him to sleep. I think I'll play this safe. A falling thug knocks over a bottle of chemicals. As the air hits the liquid, it bursts into flames. He's right behind us. Come on. I'm not standing still. The intense heat activates the automatic sprinkler system on the ceiling. In the sudden downpour of water, the Avenger loses sight of the fleeing men. Can't see a thing in this downpour. It will put out the fire, but it's giving those hoods a chance to escape. Moments later, next stop, the city amusement park and Igor Larson. But ahead of him, picked men lie waiting. Here he comes now in that trick plane of his. I figured the boys couldn't stop him at Dawson's, but we'll sure stop him here. I was right. Larson is tied in with those hoods who robbed Professor Fletcher. These are his strong-armed men coming for me. You boys have taken men for a ride. Now it's my turn to take you. As the whip lurches and sways wildly, the Avenger slams fists that are like iron wedges into the faces and jaws of the thugs. No, stay away! You stole Professor Fletcher's plans, Larson. It is my task to avenge such crimes. I'll fill you full of lead. Don't come any nearer. Your hand is going in circles almost as much as this Ferris wheel, Larson. You couldn't hit the ground with that gun if it wasn't all around you. As the Avenger reaches upward, an empty car sways unexpectedly. Oh! Pick him up and carry him to the tunnel of horror. I know a nice slow way to get rid of the Avenger for good. As you drown, remember the man who put you under the water, Avenger. Remember that Fletcher's blueprints for the first portable atomic motor in history will be on their way to Russia. With that motor, Russia can build a space satellite in orbit around the Earth. It can shoot shells any place in the world. It will make Russia supreme! Ha ha ha! As the bottom-ruined tunnel boat sinks slowly into the flowing waters, the Avenger works grimly, frantically, in a race with death. Have to reach my belt before... Too late. Have to get air into my lungs, or I won't be able to. Ah, there it is. A hidden compartment of his belt releases a thin spray of helium into his belt lining. The helium buoys up the Avenger and the boat until he can free himself and reach safety. Larson will have a head start in his getaway, but I have a trick or two up my sleeve. He'll never get those plans to Russia. Once again, the Starjet takes to the air, feeding a photo of the tire treads of the getaway car into the Starjet's mechanical computator. The radar beam goes on and the Starjet trails its quarry like a guided missile. Across the winding roads of the coastal area, out over the ocean sweeps the Starjet. They're at sea, probably in a submarine. Once again, the Starjet's radar equipment goes to work. Then a guided missile torpedo is launched from her prow. A muffled explosion geysers upward. Then a thick oil slick and bits of wreckage dot the water. I'll have the professor drop new plans. Then I'll take him to Washington myself in the Starjet to make sure the United States alone gets that portable atomic motor.